2026 is underway, and I started thinking about apps that I used to use and are kind of lingering around, but I no longer use anymore. And I thought I'd share with you all the tools that I'm getting rid of and the ones that I'm keeping. And I'll even talk a little bit about Cursor, which I'm on the fence on, and tell you if I'm going to keep that for 2026 or get rid of it. Before we do that, one of the first categories I want to talk about are the old image generation tools. If you remember back when AI really popped off, it was tools like Leonardo and Midjourney that brought AI into the public consciousness. And I love tools like this, but the fact is that I don't really need tools like this anymore. When I think of like Leonardo and Midjourney, there's no way that I'm going into a Discord server just to have an image generated for me. Now, Google has come out with tools like Nano Banana and Veo. And for 90% of my use cases, I don't need anything special anymore. I just need my Gemini subscription, which is like 20 or 30 bucks, and Nano Banana or Gemini Veo 3, or maybe on 3.1 now, can do anything that I could possibly want for 90% of my use cases. I'm not a big image generator person, or I'm not out there creating videos all the time, but whenever I do need an image generated or something touched up on one of my thumbnails, Nano Banana is all I use. These tools are kind of obvious to get rid of. But the next one I know is going to maybe hurt some feelings. It kind of hurts my feelings because I love design. But the fact is that with all the new tools out there, I don't really need tools to help me with design as much as I used to. So I'm talking about tools like Figma. I used to love making UIs in tools like Figma, then taking time reviewing the designs. And this would take me days spending using designs. But now with tools like ShadCN and all the packages we have, and with tools like Google Stitch combined with Cursor, I don't have to do this at all anymore. I literally just go in and type something like, make me a to-do list app, and it will give me a UI that's great. I mean, this isn't, the best thing ever, but with a few iterations, it will be a perfectly good working app. Then I can take it into Claude Code and start iterating on it there. That combined with packages makes this stuff easy. The real power of this stuff, though, comes when you combine it with a framework like the Conductor framework, like an agent operating system. This is the one I've made, and you all can get it for free at testandprod.co. But when I'm going through making a new feature or a new product from scratch, I have interaction flows built into this that sit right in your file system that will take the screenshots, that will take your components from like ShadCN or whatever React framework you're using, and it will stitch everything together and help you iterate through them. And now I don't need to use tools like Figma at all anymore. It's kind of a bummer because I loved it, but the truth is I don't use Figma anymore. This next category really hurts because I love these tools, but I don't recommend them to people anymore. I'm talking about tools like Lovable. So tools like Lovable, Bolt, Replit, V.0 by Vercel were great. I think these got a lot of people on board with building stuff with AI. And the use case I used to recommend these for was go ahead and pull up a tool like Lovable and prototype something and go through different iterations. And then when you're kind of happy with it, bring your code into something like Claude Code or Gemini CLI or Codex and really build it out with real databases and integrations and stuff like this. But I don't do that anymore because with things like Google Stitch and just the capabilities of the CLI tools we use now, you don't need tools like Lovable and Bolt and Replit anymore. Sad but true, I'm not using them in 2026. I'm going to be putting all the tools that I am using now in the description, and you'll be able to get them on testandprod.co, because the list that I'm giving you here in this video is just a small fraction of the tools that I'm actually using and the ones I'm getting rid of, but I'll keep you updated on testandprod.co. The next category are tools I use for research and browsing, tools like Perplexity. Perplexity is a great tool and it lets you do research and stuff like this really well. When it first came out, the angle on it was that this is what was going to replace Google search. I don't really use Google search anymore, but what I do use is Gemini as my daily driver. And Gemini and ChatGPT and pretty much all of the major AIs have gotten so good at doing research that I don't really need Perplexity anymore. So that's another subscription I don't have to deal with. Sad because I was hoping that they would give Google a run for their money, but it doesn't look like it's going to pan out that way because Google saw what was happening and they came back with a vengeance. And I'm really excited to see what Google does this year with Chrome, which brings me to my next subject. I've been using Comet, as you can see. Sometimes people wonder what browser I'm using. And I've been using Comet. And the reason I've been using it is because the AI assistant in Comet, which is just a browser like Chrome, but it's Perplexity's version, I felt like they had the best AI assistant that was actually built into your browser. Now I'm switching back to Google Chrome, and since Claude Code or Claude in Chrome has come out, I don't need their assistant anymore. I can use Chrome in combination with Claude in Chrome, and it gives me way better functionality than Perplexity's assistant. And that's what I'm using. So I'm getting rid of Perplexity and Comet. And finally, we come to Cursor, one of my favorites. If you've watched this channel at all, you know that I always have Cursor open and I have my terminal running in Cursor. And I'm actually going to keep Cursor for the time being, but there's another tool I'm about to show you that's giving it a run for its money. The reason I'm using Cursor, even though it's slow and if you have multiple windows open, it's pretty bad on your memory for your computer. I'm keeping Cursor because it gives me kind of like a playground. The subscription at the low tier, I think, is 20 bucks a month, and it lets me play with any of the new models that come out. And I like what Cursor is actually doing with agents in the IDE and how you can run multiple agents in one IDE. I like the team at Cursor, and I think they're going to keep on pushing the envelope, even though I'm mostly in the terminal these days using Claude Code or Codex or Gemini CLI. I'm rooting for Cursor, and I'm keeping it, but I am starting to use Ghostty a little more. Ghostty is a terminal that feels like it was built for working with AI in terminals, and it allows me to work on multiple projects with multiple terminals open a lot easier than Cursor. And if anything does bring me all the way away from Cursor, it will probably be Ghostty this year. I think I'm going to do a full tutorial on how to build multiple apps and run multiple workflows in multiple terminal windows to try to make it not scary for people, because I don't think people are quite ready, or a lot of people are scared by using just the terminal. But Ghostty makes it super easy. And if I do move away from Cursor, it will be because of this app. If you want to make all these tools easier for you to use, go to testandprod.co and you can get the Conductor framework, which is a agent operating system that I've built for you. It's completely free and you can put it in any code base. So you can use it in Claude Code, Codex, Gemini CLI. You can use it with Cursor. You can use it with Ghostty if you start using that. It's really simple to use. It's lightweight. It's not opinionated, so it doesn't tell you how to do things unless you want it to, and then it does. So it's just like a little buddy that you have in your code base, and it's free to download and use. And if you want that, go to testandprod.co and try it out. I'd like to hear what you think about the tools I'm ditching and the tools I'm planning on using going forward. And if you have any other thoughts on tools you're using or things you're ditching, let me know in the comments. But that's all. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.